So at last I can get back to some serious tractor related content. Plan is today is I'm going to try and get this other mudguard off. I've got one off. I didn't really film it because there was a lot of swearing and bashing with hammers and stuff and wasn't very pretty, but I did get it off in one piece. I'm going to do the same with this one. I've just got to, I've had it soaking for probably a week, 2 weeks with a bit of WD-40. I've actually soaked all the bolts because they're all a bit scabby, like on the back plates of the brakes and everything. But this one, yeah, they're really stuck. So the way I did the other one was I've got a little bottle jack around there. So I've cut the nuts off and taken the brackets off the bottom, and I've been heating up the casing, the axle there, as much as I can with my little blow lamp anyway. And with the jack underneath it, it gets it loose, and then with my rattle gun, it just gets it going, and then they pop out. But it is a bit of a mission. I'll show you a little bit, and then I'll turn the camera off because it's pretty boring, I guess. But yeah, got to get them off, and then I can get this outside. Just got to mask some bits up that I don't want to get water and sand in, and then I can get the back of this cleaned off properly, get the rest of the paint and crap off of it. I bought another sandblaster. Let me get it and show you. I bought it from, hold on. So this is what I've got. I haven't used it yet, I've tried it, but I've got one I got off of Temu, which is a little plastic thing, which is absolute crap. And I've seen good reviews of these ones. So it's a water sandblaster. Really good for getting the paint and stuff off, and it's I could do it outside, then I just sweep the sand up, dry it and use it again. But yeah, that's the kit that I got. So I'm going to give that a crack today with my big petrol water blaster, which is over there. Trouble is, I haven't used my petrol water blaster for probably 3 years because I bought an electric one, which was pretty good. So I'm going to have to clean the carb out, chuck some new fuel in it, and make sure the bugger goes. But that'll fit on there, and should get this all up nice and sparkly, ready for a bit of primer. And we'll be able to use this spray booth in it, which I'm quite excited about. Yeah, and then I'm going to go over this with a sanding disc and just get off the rough stuff. It's a real rough casting on this one for some reason, so I'll give it a bit of a smooth off here and there, so when I paint it, it looks nice. Engine's all pretty good. Since we skimmed the head, done the valves, I've still got to assemble that. I've got to blast the inside of the rocker cover and the outside of the rocker cover, and then I'm just going to prime the inside of it and the outside, and then pop it back on. So as when I paint the tractor, I'll paint it all together as original. So that's the plan, Stan. One other thing before I forget, for those of you who've got a sandblast cabinet or a sandblaster or whatever, I've been experimenting with different media. So I've been normally I've just grit in there, but I've bought a bag of glass beads because I'm going to turn it into a vapor blaster as well, which is a bit of a mucking around. You know, you have to clean out all the sand, put all the bucket and all the pumps and all that around, and change the gun, etc. But I think it's worth it. But what I tried with just putting the glass beads in, I had these old carbs, and these were minging, these were horrible. I've still got to strip them down and clean them out, but I just did the outside. So that's what they come out like. That's just with glass beads, so they look like new really. I'm not sure whether they should be polished or not, or whether that's, you know, the original finish. This one's a bit of a rough casting as well. I've got about 2 or 3 spare carbs kicking around. I've got another one which is off this tractor, which I've got to do as well. But I just thought I'd play with it, just see what it come out like. I'm going to have a go at this Dizzy as well. Give that a bit of a clean up. Again, I'll probably keep that aluminium, won't paint it, but I'm not sure. I don't know what the originals were like, and I want this to be as original as I can. But yeah, there's a Dizzy. I shall give a bit of a blast off with the beads and see what it comes out like. Hopefully it'll come up like new as well. But anyway, I'm going to get on with getting this mudguard off. So all I'm doing is going to get this as hot as I can. got pressure on the jack on the bolt as well down here. It's better with oxyacetylene, but I haven't got that at the moment. Might have to buy myself a set. But this does work. It's just quite tedious. Fast forward this bit. Right, I should give that a go. Right, it's just starting to go. There we go. And that one's loose. It'll be very hot as well, so I won't grab it. Anyway, that one's out. So now I'll do the same trick on the other one. But that's how you do that. There we go, that's removed. So, just with that little blow lamp and a bit of a help with a jack, but we've got them buggers off, which is cool. I'm going to get rid of these back plates as well. I don't think I'll put them back on, they look a bit grotty. Must have been an optional extra. The next thing I'm going to pull off this little bad boy is the steering wheel. I want to get that off, and I'm going to take the dashboard apart. I've got to repair the dashboard, it's got a big rust hole in the top here, so I should make that quite new again. And also there's a part on this one, I need to copy for the other tractor I've got over there, because when that was done by whoever, they half-arsed it pretty bad and there's loads of bits missing. So I've got to make that part and probably a battery box as well. And I think, yeah, I've got to make a battery box for this one as well. Luckily I've still got one on the other tractor to copy, so I should do that. But I'm just going to get this steering wheel off. They're normally seized on like a bugger, so I've got a decent puller on it. The plastic ones are worse because you can't get any heat on them. Well, the last one I cut off with an angle grinder, to be fair. But this one, hopefully, I should be able to just put some pressure on this and then heat the boss up and it should just pop off. I've got a brand new steering wheel which I was going to put on the other tractor, which is up there, which will go on this little fella. But I'm going to get that off, going to get all the dashboard off, all of the bits off around the steering box. Once it's been outside and sandblasted, I'm going to give it get rid of all the sand and give it a pressure wash to make sure there's no sand caught anywhere that I don't want it. Then I'm going to pull the top of the back of the gearbox off and the top of the front of the gearbox off, and sort out the adjustment for the steering box, because this is all over the place. It's yeah, I don't know if it needs new bushes or what. I'm going to do the seals as well, and it'll give me a chance to have a look at the gearbox as well and see how dirty or clean it is, and give it a bit of a wash out before I put new oil in it. I'm going to do new oil seals in both axles on the back, and the PTO as well. So hopefully this will be a leak-free tractor. We hope, innit? So I'm just going to grab a crescent and try and put a bit of pressure on this. See if it's going to go for me, or whether it's going to be a bugger. It's going to be a bugger. But I've got some pressure in there now to attack it with the blow lamp. And hopefully that will just free it up enough to come off, won't it? Again, I'll fast forward this bit. Right, just going to get a G-clamp. Where the clamp? Just there, I guess. I do believe we have a bit of movement, Governor. Hui. And that's off. Another bit off, isn't it? Something else I found online, the badge from the front, this one has long since rotted away. Hang on a minute. Yeah, the one on there is long since rotted away, and the one on one of the other tractors has only got a part of it there. And I don't know about that one, but you can get a reproduction one there. Unfortunately, I don't know the chassis number, so I can't stamp it in, but at least I can put TEA 20 on it and fix it on there so it looks posh. But yeah, and they weren't too bad priced either. And where are they from? Agri-Line Products. Yeah, so if you're missing one, you can get them. Just got to look online, so we can make it look original again, innit? Try and put all these nuts and bolts together. In my bucket down there. Oh, don't lose that bit. that side. Just put it on the side. Not much oil in there. Last one I did oil peed out when I took a stud out, so this one didn't. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Last but not least, let's look about here. And that's that nearly off, isn't it? Here we go. I should get rid of all this horrible wiring and do it in period correct when I do it. Stop bouncing out, little buggers. I'll put a stud back in there just in case you get any water in there. And let's see if we can get that off. That's all seized up, unfortunately. I think that's supposed to twist and come off, but it's quite stuck. I might give it a little tap, see if I can get it to move. There we go, that's looking a little bit better. A few more bits off. I might even buy a new one of these, this throttle mechanism. You can get them also, because they're supposed to be chrome. I could clean it up and see how much it costs to get it re-chromed, but I might as well bite the bullet and buy a new one, because I do want this to be a posh tractor for somebody, so it's worth making the effort, isn't it? But that's a little bit more like it now. I've got all that off, I can get it back outside. I'll have a bit of a clear up and go and play with this sandblaster. See how it works. I might wrap the engine up as well because I don't want to get anything in there, so I'll put a bit of plastic around that. Right, so I've got it all set up, this new gadget, so I'm going to give it a crack, see how well it works or shit. So there we go, that's been water sandblasted. Now the hardest thing about a water sandblaster is keeping the sand dry, I've found. So as soon as you get a bit of wet on the sand, which is quite easy if you've got bloody water right next to it, it just clogs up the nozzle. but it's done a bloody good job, and it's saved me a load of work. So all I've got to do now is rotary wire brush on there just to finish off, get the drums off, do the brakes, do the seals in there, do the seal in the PTO, whip that off, and fix those bits up. Then this could go in for a coat of paint pretty much. A couple more bits to take off here and there, but yeah, we should be good in the hood. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. But yeah, I think next time I'll get a sack. I'll buy a sack of sand and leave the sand in the sack, because that way it'll probably stay dry. But pretty impressed with it, and the water blaster works, and that's not bad considering about 3 years since I've used it, something like that. She goes like a good one, so I'm happy with that and all. But yeah, that's come up quite nice. Next thing to do is get all the sand out of places you shouldn't have sand in. It's like going to the beach, isn't it? Finding sand in bits and bobs. But anyway, there we go. And I've just made I just put this on a forklift to push it in, because it is still a bit of a prick to move, especially up the little slope there. So yeah, I put a ball on the forklift and drove it in, which was fun. So that's probably how I'm going to move it around, but it is move aboutable, which is posh. So there we go, Gov. Just while I was waiting for the old tractor to dry off a bit, I was blowing it off, I chucked that dizzy in the sandblaster. Look at that. So that's with glass, so it's really fine, and I think it looks marvellous. A lot better than it bloody did anyway. I've got to clean it all out, strip it down and get any grit out of it, but yeah. It's giving it a birthday, isn't it? And it's got in all the little nooks and crannies and got all the crap off. So that'll be marvellous, that will. Probably do a few more bits.